My name's Jamie Williams. I had the surgery 6 years ago, Thanksgiving. I started right at 400 pounds. I think my low point was about 220. And since then, I'm sitting about 250. I gained about 10 pounds back after the first 2 years, and then I've just gradually put a little bit on since then, but that's just me not doing what I'm supposed to do.
Sure.
So my weight fluctuates 10 pounds from week to week pretty regularly.
Well, and
But
that's a good reason to stay in touch with us, Jamie. I know you sent so
yep,
many other people to us, but you got to make sure that you stay in touch because, if
yep,
you gain 20 pounds, I'd say that's perfectly normal. That's what I would have expected. Uh, but
yeah, and that's about where.
if you start creeping up, more, don't let it get up
Yep,
to 270, 280 before you call me and say, hey, what do I need to be doing to drop that 10 pounds or whatever. So
yep.
just keep that in mind.
I, I got up. I do my yearly physical, and I do my yearly blood work. You best, and I usually always send it to you.
Yeah.
Um, and everything's been fine, great. Um, I
Well,
lost
that's
most of
okay.
the weight. I lost most of the weight in the first year, maybe a year and 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
My
Did you
gene
have
size.
any comorbidities, any high blood pressure, diabetes, any of those things?
I had sleep apnea and I had high blood pressure. Um, Both of those I've got tested where I don't have sleep apnea anymore. And that was a
Awesome.
big deal for me because I have a CDL, and having sleep apnea and a CDL is a real big pain because you have to keep up with all your records and make sure you're wearing it correctly and all that for you to continue to have your CDL.
Yeah.
And then I got off my blood pressure medicine the day of surgery and never looked back. And
Awesome.
it's been great. Um, my heart rate was always probably around 85, 90. And most of the time, if you check it now, it's about 50. And when I go to the doctor, they're like, "Are you a runner?" I'm like, "No, I'm not a runner. I'm an ex-fat man." But most of my doctors now know me, of course. But uh,
Right. So tell
it's
me
it's been
about when you first decided, okay, I'm gonna take this jump, I'm gonna take this leap here, and I'm gonna have weight loss surgery. How did that journey go exactly? And how did you land upon the mini gastric bypass?
well, that journey happened over about a 10-year period. I looked into it once I live in Springfield, Missouri, so Cox Medical is a hospital here. I went and looked at having I don't think it was called a sleeve back then, but it was probably a full gastric bypass, probably 10 years previous to that, and just wasn't mentally ready. Um, I'm in the construction industry and I like being 10 foot tall and bulletproof and being able to hold my own ground.
Sure.
And I wasn't ready to give that up yet. And then I looked into it probably a year before I had surgery with you. I looked into it, and I went to a seminar there and they were advertising the sleeve. And I was basically all ready to get signed up for the sleeve. And I was at a truck show, and the Asslingers, Terry Asslinger, who you know, uh, Terry, Terry had surgery with you, and I was talking to him about it, and he said, "Hey, don't do that. Go check out Dr. Hargroder. He's a great man." And Terry's from St. Louis and found you at one of your seminars you did in St. Louis. And I looked into you and came down and met with you and talked to you and did everything I was supposed to do. And I really, the main thing I liked about your surgery more than anything else was it was reversible.
Right.
Because
Right.
when I was at the seminar for the sleeve, they said, "Hey, some people's body rejects a surgery. It doesn't matter what surgery it is, but your body could always reject it. And you could be one of those small chances that are just miserable and sick the rest of your life. And when you have the sleeve, they throw everything away. You have no.
Right.
I
Right.
did. I didn't want to be miserable and sick the rest of my life if my body rejected it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy food. I cook a lot. Uh, I was really worried about not being able to enjoy food. I stress ate. I'm not a big drinker. Uh, I don't do anything else. I was a stress eater. That's why I had gotten to 400 pounds. And after I meeting with you guys, I was sold and committed to do it. And I had it done the day before Thanksgiving, which everybody thought was crazy because who wants to have it done before your biggest day of eating? But I was ready. I
Right.
wanted to do it as quick as I could do it, and I don't regret 1 minute doing it. Only thing I regret is not doing it, at 30 years old instead of waiting until I was 45.
Absolutely. So Thanksgiving time,
Yeah.
how was the festivities, Thanksgiving and Christmas, sitting at the dining table with everybody? How was it for
Well,
you, and how was it for your friends or family that you were with?
well,
My experience
Thanksgiving,
has been my
yeah.
experience has been they typically are suffering more than the patient is because they're feeling bad about how you're not eating all the good, wonderful foods. Of course, for
Yep.
Thanksgiving, you missed Thanksgiving, I guess, because you were in
I
the
was in the
hospital.
hospital Thanksgiving. Yep.
Yeah,
Christmas, by Christmas, I was probably eating mashed potatoes at that time because that was about 30 days.
yeah,
So, my family was very supportive of it. My biggest fear probably about doing it was I own my own business, and about every day for lunch, I have a business meeting of some kind, either a client or a employee or something. And I was really worried about going to lunches and not being able to eat and being real
sure,
awkward. And it really was never an issue. Everybody, I'd get soup or something like that, and everybody was always more than supportive of me.
good, good.
So, yep, it was,
What were like
you know,
some of the biggest questions you had? You already mentioned one of them, the reversibility was sort of the thing that sold you on it. Um, I mean, you say your family was supportive? Did you have any naysayers? Was there anyone that you had to convince this was a good idea, or did everybody just
nope, not
right on
nope.
board?
Everybody was on board. I mean,
Awesome.
like I said, I was 400 pounds. I'm 6'4", so I carried my weight pretty well. But
Yeah,
um, I was a big guy. I'd always been a big guy. But no, everybody was for it. Um,
awesome. And what would you say has been the biggest change or the biggest benefit for you, maybe aside from the medical issues?
biggest benefits definitely mobility. Just I didn't know I didn't have mobility because I still did anything I wanted to do. I didn't have any restrictions, but I'm very active. And now I'm just, if I want to jump on the back of a semi trailer or climb a ladder or anything, I did it before, but now I just do it with ease.
Right,
Um,
right,
if you want to go snow skiing, now it's not a chore. I went snow skiing at 400 pounds, and it took me 2 hours to come down the easy trail, and I had to stop and catch my breath, and I felt like I was dying.
right.
Now it's not as bad. I'm not carrying that extra weight.
You're not on the black
Uh,
slopes, are you?
yes, I do them from time to
Do
time.
you really?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Mm,
It's been a while since I did those because I haven't been out there much since I lost weight, but I did them when I was 400 pounds. So,
yeah. Wow, wow.
I did them about 300, not probably 400 pounds. I didn't do too many at 400 pounds, but I did them at 300 pounds for sure.
I have never
Uh,
been snow skiing. I've always said that if I was ever going to go, I was going to be the guy sitting in the hot tub at the base of the mountain, kind of watching all the skiers coming in with a cocktail in my hand. That was probably going to be the
well,
extent of
it's not a bad experience, but yeah. But it was one thing I was really looking forward to because when you're 400 pounds and 6'4", every piece of clothing you buy is special.
yeah,
Everything's online or everything's at a big and tall man store and everything's generic. And I can go to the mall now or go to any store and buy something that fits me.
right.
And that's been very nice.
Yeah, that's something
And
people don't think about is how hard it is to find clothes when you're 400 pounds. It either has to be a big and tall
yep,
man shop where everything's twice as expensive,
yep,
or
we're
have it
online.
custom made, huh? Yeah,
Yep. And the cost of the surgery, uh, believe it or not, I have a business and I have life insurance to cover if I was to die. And my premiums on my life insurance reduced after my first year of losing weight more than the cost of the surgery.
wow.
just because my health rating changed from, a D plus or a D to a A plus.
Sure.
So that paid for the surgery itself. Not
I'll
to
be darned.
mention the amount of food you don't eat, the amount of food you don't get at the grocery store. Uh, your clothing is a lot cheaper. So just all that above, people don't add that up, but you know, every
Yeah.
you know, when you go to McDonald's and you order three sandwiches where now you order one, that's all savings.
Right. Right. Good point. Very good point. Well, if you had one piece of advice for anybody that was contemplating or thinking about having a weight loss surgery, any words of wisdom to pass on?
You know, just I would just suggest do it. The new craze right now is doing those Ozempic shot or doing the shots, and they're just a band-aid. I know so many people that have done it, and it's no different than when I dieted for 10 years. Those
Right.
Ozempic shots, not a, it's an aid. It helps you. Yes, I know people that have lost weight, but most of them have gained it back. Um, you're Everybody tells me, "Hey, my friend had that surgery that you had, and they gained their weight back." No, they didn't have what I had done because there's only about two people that do what I had done in the U.S. and it's very unique surgery, and here's why. And I tell them why, but
Yeah.
it's and
I'm glad you make that point because I face that all the time, and it's nice when somebody has the right
yep,
answer, which is you
yeah,
may have had
it,
surgery, but you didn't have the MGB.
yep. And then you're scared because all you've done is eat your whole life, and when you say, hey, you're going to be on a liquid diet for 2 weeks. That you're how am I going to survive? Well, you did not want to eat. You didn't even think about food. I mean, it was not an issue.
Right.
You didn't have the cravings. You don't have that craving to go eat that 20-ounce steak. And I
Yeah.
thought I would because I was the guy that went and ate a 20-ounce steak or 26-ounce steak and enjoyed it and loved food. But I still cook ribs a lot for my family at barbecue, and I may eat two ribs and be full. Well, I'm happy, but it's not one of those things where I regret having it done because I can't eat. I still, you know, you got to in moderation. You got to eat healthy and you got to be smart. But if you have moments of weakness, you need a double cheeseburger. I can never go eat a double cheeseburger. I can go eat half a double cheeseburger. But even 6 years out, it's hard for me to go eat something that way without getting sick.
Yeah.
Or if I go eat a pizza, I'll go eat, if I can eat three pieces of pizza, that's a lot for me, even 6 years out.
And do you feel deprived or is it
No,
satisfied?
no,
Satisfied.
no, I'm satisfied. You know, I tell everybody now I do probably more grazing than I do anything else, where
Sure.
I snack throughout the whole day, or if I go to lunch and I get a double cheeseburger, I get it to go. I'll eat half of it, and usually by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that cheeseburger's gone. I'll eat the whole thing. I may eat it over 3 hours,
Yeah. Right. Right.
and that's just fine. Um, my it's alcohol's you know I was never a big drinker before, so it's not really ever been a problem for me now. But you go drink three beers right now, and I know it because I'm pretty full at three beers. So
Sure.
it takes me over three beers, usually 3 or 4 beers takes me 3 or 4 hours. You can do it if you want to do it, but it is it's just not an issue.
Right.
And
Right.
how much I've added to my life as far as the length of my life and all that's going to be just crazy. But
I agree. I agree. I can't
it's
wait for the next 20, 30 years,
yeah,
see how.
I sent my daughter down to you as a senior in high school, and she had it done, and it's made her such a different person and confident. My nephew had it done about 6 months after I had it done, and he's a completely different person. He's so confident and successful now, where he was a little bit more in a shell before.
Right.
I
Yep.
probably
See
sent
that a
40.
lot.
I probably sent 40 people to you since I had
Oh,
mine
you
done.
have? I mean, I'm going to have to start sending you commission checks, I'm afraid, because
Yeah.
yeah, you have been
Well, no,
sending a ton of
it's
people. I appreciate it too.
just
I really do.
seeing people get healthy is worth it all. I mean, it's worth it all. Um,
Absolutely. All right. Well,
it's
Jamie, I know you probably got a lot going on tonight, but I just had to touch base with you. I appreciate the words. If there's any final thoughts you want to say, otherwise, I'm going to take this and kind of piecemeal it together and turn it into something that
Yep.
Sounds a
That's
little
just
fluidy.
nope. Just do it, and anytime anybody has questions, feel free to give my number, and I'll be more than happy to talk to them.
All
It's
right,
it's
sounds
been a
awesome.
it's been a great surgery.
All right,
So,
thanks again,
all right,
Jamie. I'll
thank
let you
you,
get on with
sir.
the rest of your night. Good
All
night.
right, have a good evening. Bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.